Medea is a watercolour and gouache painting on paper measuring 24.6 centimetres high and 33.4 wide. It is framed. It depicts a stage with stairs and columns for the classical play Medea. It's dominated by earthy, warm tones such as beige, brown and ochre. The scene shows what appears to be a classical theatre set, reminiscent of ancient Greece. In the foreground, there are 3 blocks of stairs. On the left, another on the right, and a larger central staircase that leads up to a kind of high platform. The entire architecture is simple, unadorned, and the lines are perfectly defined by means of straight lines and sharp angles. On the high platform, there are 3 large cylindrical and fluted Doric columns, arranged in such a way that they frame openings or windows with a light blue background, possibly evoking the sky or the outdoors. The columns are brown and ochre in colour, with soft shadows suggesting volume. The left and right sides of the composition are limited by dark stripes that give the impression of being inside the classical theatre, looking towards the stage. There are no human figures, objects or action. Everything is arranged as if it were a stage waiting for the actors. The atmosphere is silent and solemn, giving a sense of expectation and almost ritualistic atmosphere. This watercolour was painted in 1944, in the midst of World War II, a time of great political and social upheaval. Spain was living under Franco's dictatorship, which conditioned both intellectual life and artistic languages. The return of classical motifs and Greco-Roman theatre was common among artists, who sought by mythology and tradition a means of escape, symbolic resistance, or reflection on the human condition. The choice of Medea as a theme combines resonances of tragedy, drama, and universality, referring to the great stories of women, power, and suffering in classical antiquity. Carbonell's sober, almost abstract sets allow the audience to focus on the symbolic value of theatrical architecture as a place of catharsis and encounter, beyond the specific actions. The tragedy Medea, written by Euripides, tells the story of Medea's revenge. Betrayed by her husband, Jason, she kills her own children and Jason's new wife. It was first staged in 431 BC. In Carbonell's work, the theatre represents a space where the real and the imaginary merge. The backdrop of columns and staircases alludes to the ascent, descent, and rituals of transformation that define the great classic tragedy. In this way, the artist emphasizes the evocative power of the stage space and its central role in the theatrical experience.